ZOFIA BURCHACINSKA remembers it like it was yesterday. When the Germans attacked Poland, she was 11 years old.
My mom told me, "Get up, we need to get out." I was in bed in my nightgown when suddenly we heard a loud roaring sound. The ceiling started to crack. The windows were blown out. Our bedrooms were near where the first bombs were dropped.
During several waves of attacks, dive bombers of the German Luftwaffe dropped bombs onto Wielun. The small town was unprotected, defenseless. The attack from the skies was a war crime. It was a precursor of the Nazis' goal of total annihilation, which characterized the war. The pharmacy run by ZOFIA BURCHACINSKA's family, opposite the church on the market square, was completely burned down. Zofia's father, a Polish soldier, held on to a few photos. They were all that remained.
My father had these photos with him while he was in captivity.
Every Sunday, he would write a couple of lines on them.
This one reads, "Sunday, 1939, Germany. I think of you all the time." At that point, he wasn't sure if I was still alive.
One of these photos, showing her brother in front of the hospital, became a symbol for the suffering they endured. ZOFIA shows us the road where the photo was taken. The clinic was attacked first, a violation of the Geneva Convention. It had dramatic consequences for the survivors of the air raid. Dr. Marian Kowalczyk was 5 years of age when the war started. Later, he examined the survivors for long-term psychological effects of the war.
I was part of a committee for disabled persons. There, I kept examining people whose afflictions were a consequence of their experiences during the air raid. They were unable to work.
After the war, the suffering of Wielun citizens was not addressed by the communist government. For decades, the German attack on Danzig was officially recognized as the start of the Second World War. But it was another witness of the attack on Wielun, TADEUSZ OLEJNIK, who pointed out that the bombing of the small town actually marked the start of the war. He was 4 years old when he saw Wielun burn. Later, he studied history, and as a historian, pressed for the acknowledgement of the suffering of Wielun.
The Polish Army's leadership once answered a letter of mine, saying that it's not possible, as the Westerplatte in Gdansk is a symbol for the start of World War II, because of the Polish soldiers' bravery who fought there. The tragedy of Wielun hardly sufficed to instill a sense of patriotism in the young generation.
For the 80th anniversary of World War II's outbreak, the City Museum in Wielun is opening a new and larger exhibition.
The people in Poland, the government and especially historians, Polish as well as German, are revealing more and more details about the tragedy of Wielun.
German Major General Wolfram von Richthofen was responsible for the attack. He had previously ordered the bombing of Guernica, Spain, by dive bombers of the Condor Legion. While Guernica became a world-renowned symbol of civilian suffering, Wielun is still looking for its place. Marian Kowalczyk hopes for a reconciliation between the Poles and Germans.
Today, the Germans are completely different people than back then. The Poles are different too. Now we've got the EU. We're all in the same union now. We're going in the right direction to ensure peace.
At 91 years of age, ZOFIA BURCHACINSKA continues to work in her son's pharmacy. She still has trouble dealing with the past.
When you ask the Germans about this, they reply, "That wasn't us. The Nazis did that." But where did the Nazis come from? From Germany. And if you ask me whether or not I can forgive, no, I'm trying, but I don't believe the Germans. What if this were to happen here all over again?
80 years after the start of the Second World War, many Poles feel that the air raid on Wielun and Germany's attack on their country has still not been suitably dealt with in German-Polish relations.